Welcome to the Social Podcast, where no discussion or debate is off limits.
Happy Wednesday and welcome to the Social. Thanks for being here. We haven't seen her in a minute, but you know her, you love her. Financial commentator Patti Lovett-Reid is back.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, big news in Canada. Prime Minister Mark Carney unveiled his government's first federal budget meant to prop up, meant to prop up Canada's economy. Now, the plan is to spend nearly $90 billion in net new spending over the next 5 years and a projected $78 billion deficit for this fiscal year. But of course, this budget still does need to be passed, so nothing's happening, at least not yet. But Andrea, what stood out to you in this budget?
Oh my God, what stood out? It was so overwhelming. There's so much information. There was so much stuff, like the increase in spending for defense, that stood out. Lowering bank fees, that was interesting. Trimming the government, and also a weird one out of left field, joining Eurovision. That was very interesting. But Patti, I want you to break it down for the person who's just worried about putting food on the table and perhaps one day hoping to buy a house. What did this budget say to them? Sorry, Patti.
Yeah, okay. You know what, to be honest, it didn't say a lot. But what it did say is there wasn't a lot of day-to-day spending, but there is a lot in terms of building for the future and having investment. And so when you think of it, this was a budget that was all about austerity in a little way, and investment in a big way. They're not planning for today. They're not even planning for tomorrow. They're planning for the next decade. And what I can tell you is it's a real change. I'll throw out a term. I think Canada has been fairly resilient. This budget is a bold pivot to reinvention. And my last part of that reinvention comes down to, I think our Prime Minister gets that we have to move beyond the U.S. administration protectionism.
So I guess it's fair to say that this budget is a generational budget, not a next, tomorrow budget.
Yeah, and you did ask a fair question about what does this mean in terms of putting food on the table. They will take the lowest tax rate from 15% to 14%. That's a 1% move up to $55,000. Now, we have a progressive tax system in Canada. So if you make $35,000, you'll save $350 a year. If you make $55,000 or more, you'll make $550 a year. Is it a lot? No. Is it going to cost a lot? Yes. Probably $27 billion. It's not going to kick in until July next year. But it is something, it is modest, but that is not what this budget was about.
It's really interesting because we said off the top there that there's an expected $78 billion deficit.
78.3.
78.3, but what's a 0.3?
What's
so that means that we are overspending by $78 billion than we are taking in.
Correct.
Isn't that a lot of money in 1 year?
Well, you know what? Here's the deal. $78.3 billion is a lot of money, but the deficit, ideally, as we invest, will start to come down in terms of, what we can create in infrastructure, what we can create through, defense and creating jobs and building for the long term. But when you look at $78.3 billion as a percentage of GDP, it's 2.5%. The acceptable norms are between 2 and 4%. And so what that actually tells us, how do we stack up against the other G7 nations? Right in the middle. I mean, we've been better before, but we haven't had a bold budget like we're having now. And by the way, the projections, they actually surprised me to the downside because the projections were between 70 billion and 100 billion. And so it was, and I'm not mad about that. I think, a lot has to go right. I think you're right about this when you sort of say, it's a big number. I mean, you're spending this money to create jobs and growth and a stable economy. So
sometimes you need to spend money to make money, right? Like that's a basic.
Haven't we always said that?
Yeah, we have always said that for sure. So the one thing that caught my eye was the government also aims to cut another 30 to 40,000 jobs, or around 10% from the federal public service. So I mean, people are hearing that number. Many people work in the public federal service. So should Canadians be concerned?
Sure. You know what? I do think you should be concerned. Anytime you hear a cut, and this is in the tune of about 10% of the federal government workforce, I think you are concerned. I think we have to look at where are the cuts, how transparent are they, how are they being structured, regionally, are they going to be fair? Will there be a contingency plan put into place should we have a crisis? What will this mean to services? And so I think it's all about how this happens, how it gets rolled out. I don't know too many. When I look at the monthly job numbers, you see private sector hiring and then you see public sector hiring, and it has often skewed towards that. And so I think there's going to be a balancing out there. You just hope that it's not a hollowing out there.
Okay.
There are some people who are calling this budget a Trump survival plan. And we are in the midst of like this unprecedented trade war, and we no longer have a reliable partner in the United States as far as a trade partner. We are still talking about, are we going to renegotiate this free trade deal with the U.S. and Mexico in the next year? So how does this budget fit into that world? Because I did not see any language that said, well, this is the budget if we do get a great free trade deal. And I also didn't hear the language, this is the budget if we don't get a free trade deal.
Because you know what? I'm not sure at this point it matters. And I say that, I know, I felt the body language. No, but here's why. You know, it's, when I talk about personal finance ad nauseum, some would say, I talk about diversification. Everything went wonderfully well when we were dealing with the U.S. and we had a good trading relationship until it didn't go well. And the fact is, it's like anything. When you're in an investment and it's doing really, really well, you think, hey, it only has one way to go up. And that's not the case. It can go down and the trajectory can change. It has changed. So it is time for Canada to move on and to build better relationships, additional relationships. And it'll be great if we get back to something with the U.S., but it can't be only the U.S. And I think that's what this is all about right now.
So on a lighter note, Andrea mentioned it earlier, Eurovision was mentioned, which just seemed utterly random.
Are you going to ask me to sing?
It was just so odd. I actually thought initially it was a play on words. Like we have a vision for Europe. We got a Eurovision, right? Like we're trying to separate ourselves from the U.S. I thought, oh, how clever. It turns out it's actually a wildly popular international song
yeah.
contest.
I know, but I looked it up on ChatGPT, and it still didn't help me.
But so Carney was mentioning how he thought that CBC might be involved in this. Like, what did you think of this?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Thank you for being honest.
No, I really didn't. Can we go back to talking numbers?
Yeah.
We could have an infrastructure spend $1 trillion. You don't care about that. Eurovision.
I just thought, listen, we work in the arts, we work in media, and the fact that did not go lost on me was that the budget includes roughly $400 million intended to, quote, grow Canada's creative industries and help Canadian talent succeed in an increasingly digital and global marketplace. We should all feel really happy and proud of that.
We should.
People who care. What I heard from that was just like, you know, we have spent so much time as Canadians looking to our neighbors to the south for our content, for our, for our identity in some cases.
So true.
And I think this, to me, marks something quite profound. Forget about Eurovision for a moment, but just in general, to be supporting the arts, it
that's
matters.
Great. Yes, it does. No, the arts do matter. Yes. I could not have said it better.
Okay, then we'll just leave it there for you, Patti.
That is wonderful. Okay, we are broken age. Feel a little better? I do. We understand this a little better. Okay, that's the point.
A reader wrote to the Skims etiquette column saying, my partner walks faster than me, and whenever we go anywhere, I feel like I'm either rushing to catch up or annoyed that I'm being left behind. I brought it up before, but he just brushes it off. So how important is walking speed compatibility with your partner? Mel?
Oh, wow. Okay, this happens in my neighborhood every day. I walk every day with my dog, and first thing in the morning, I'm walking down, and it's the same turn, and this couple is on the same schedule. The husband is like 2 meters at least ahead of his wife every time, and he's walking like he's trying to catch a bus, and the wife looks like she's struggling to keep up, and I see it every day. It's been years, and I'll tell you something. I look at them, and I just think, what is that marriage like? Is that weird to say? Because there's a thing called motor synchrony. Have you ever been at the gym and you're walking on the treadmill and then all of a sudden you start matching the pace of the person next to you? And then I don't know if you're like me, then I purposely skip so that I'm not doing the same pace. Motor synchrony is something unconscious that when you're with somebody, you start to mimic each other's gestures, you start to walk the same pace. So I just think if you don't have synchrony, are you going to get divorced?
Okay,
Maybe.
wait. Can I jump in before?
Please, Patti.
Oh, yeah. I will crush my husband in a walk.
Oh.
Absolutely. I get out there and I will walk. If we go running together and we're training, we've trained for some half marathons together and a marathon, I am 3 paces ahead of him. And he goes, is this disrespectful? And I go, no. Now, if he does, yes, it is disrespectful. I'm just kidding. But what we've decided is there are times when we will walk together. And I wish I'd known we were talking about it, because Jim is from the military and he had his friends in the military take a picture of us walking the military march and told me, this is how you do it, Patti. This is how a team comes together. I mean, there's something to be said about that. But bottom line is, you know what? If I play tennis with him, I will drill the ball down his throat. I will. I know I'm going to get hate mail, but you know what? We've been married 30 years. I love him to death.
It's working.
It's working.
Anyway,
So my point is, it can still work.
Yeah, and it works for you, right, Tim?
Well, I mean, I just know I'm the same as you, Patti. Like, there have been times when I've been definitely guilty of this. I just don't think, I think there's 1,000,001 things that could be considered orange flags or red flags. This, for me, is not one.
Yeah.
Is it for you?
That's a good way to do it.
Here's the deal. You know what? When I see a woman walking ahead of her husband and she's exercising, I wouldn't even think twice. But there's something about watching a husband walk faster than his wife.
Are
and
we
I'll tell
being
you.
sexist,
Listen,
though?
listen.
Isn't that
I'm going to
sexist?
take you back to a time to defend my opinion. January inauguration, 2026. Outgoing VP Kamala Harris and First Gentleman Doug are standing on the steps. A car pulls up with the incoming VP, one JD Vance, and he forgets to wait for his wife, who is in the car getting the kids. And Doug, first husband, had to give him the hand, wait, your wife's not with you. And for me, that moment was so cringe and also made me look at their marriage. I did not even think about these people. But as soon as I saw that, I go, that marriage, that is not a good look. This is a special day, and you didn't even look back for your wife, who's dressed up there to support you. So for me, it's a little bit of a red flag. Yeah. But you, jam it down his throat, Patti.
I hope he's not watching.
Yeah, I was going to say, is Jim watching today? Maybe not.
But he would say I did do that.
Listen, because you're so darn smart and you know numbers, this is why we love to have you here today. So thank you for joining us, Patti. Thank you so much. Now, Sin, you're going to stay here and keep Patti company, because Andrea and I, we're going to head over because we have someone special to say hello to right now.
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. How are you?
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you, ladies.
If you know, you know, but if you don't know, this is Dwayne Rosario. He is a FIFA icon. He has represented the Canadian men's national team for nearly 20 years, and he is a 4-time Major League Soccer champion and the first Canadian to win the MLS Cup MVP. So put your hands together.
Thank you so much
for being here.
Introduction.
All right, so Dwayne, what impact do you think it's going to have on Canadians to be experiencing the World Cup right here on Canadian soil?
Well, I could just go back in history to my younger self when I was a young aspiring kid growing up in Scarborough, inner city metro housing, and just hoping one day to represent Canada at the national team level. Now, are we not only hosting the World Cup here in Canada, we're also having the opportunity now to see World Cup stars here in our own backyard. And I know the ripple effect that that's going to have across so many communities across the GTA that all love football. We all migrated here to Canada with football. Most countries came here with football as number one on their hearts. And now having the opportunity to host the World Cup is a great way for us to showcase not only our rich diversity, but our passion for the sport.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that.
Now, I just talked about all the great things that you've done, but despite your tremendous success, you've competed in 5 World Cups qualifying cycles without ever reaching the tournament. I hate to bring that up. So how do you feel watching this generation have that opportunity to do that? Does it sting a little bit?
For sure, but I'm happy to know that we have qualified for Qatar, right? and now that we're hosting it. And again, we're seeing the impact that professional soccer has had. Major League Soccer coming to Toronto, to Canada in 2007. A lot of these players on our national team now have gone through that pathway, just like my sons who are professionals now. And now it's tangible, now it's real. And we're also a city that not only boasts of professional men's team, but also we have a thriving, rich professional women's league as well.
Awesome.
Amen to the women's league, too. So, Dwayne, before we get to the last question, we have some surprise guests. We have our mascots, Maple the Moose, Clutch the Bald Eagle, and Zayu the Jaguar, who are joining us in studio. Come on in, mascots. Come on in. Come on in. Oh my, hi everybody. These are official FIFA World Cup mascots, y'all.
Where to get it?
We're like, what?
Yeah.
Here we are.
Well, Dwayne, wherever you are.
Yes, I'm here.
We'll squeeze in.
What do we know? Tell us a little bit about what we need to know about Team Canada ahead of the World Cup competition.
Well, we're a team that likes to play on our front foot. We're an exciting team. We're a young team. We're a team that likes to take our game to opposing team, and I think that's what the fans want to see. They want to see exciting football. They want to see attacking football, and that's what we're going to see in 2026.
We love this. Well, Dwayne, mascots.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for being with us today. The countdown is officially on. The FIFA draw happens on December the 5th, and World Cup 26. It kicks off June 2026. TSN, CTV, and RDS are Canada's exclusive home for all the soccer action.
Subscribe to the Social Podcast so you don't miss a fiery debate. Until next time, socialites.